A very interesting topic. What is channeling? That's what is coming to my mind because this word channeling sounds pretty intriguing, and it was pretty intriguing for me. I came across this word with uh, around when I was 40 years, and the first proper channeling booklet I'd read was by Lee Carroll, who had channeled the group of energies called Cryon. Mm, and it was interesting to read and a lot of information, which sounded very premature at that time, turned out to be pretty cool and right later on. And that was my first exposure. And I wouldn't say that was 100% of first exposure. My most mystical experience was when I started writing the answers in exams without knowing what am I writing. And there would be some frequency I would zone into, and I would land up writing right answers and passed year after year. And not only that, when I was practicing homeopathy, I had such mystical experiences of knowing things, the sense of knowingness or conversation. I'll end up talking what I really never planned and what I never thought I would ever say. Some of the words were even very different, and they were not my regular vocab. In fact, I would often open up the dictionary later to see what did I say to this person. But they were periodic and sporadic experiences. It did not last long. I got busy later in my medical practice, in my daily routine life, being a part of the community who was very much left-headed and logical minded. So all these things were never spoken about. It was a kind of a taboo, and if I opened my mouth, probably everybody would laugh, and that's what I presumed at that time. However, later, when I spoke to a lot of people, many of you must be having those experiences sometime or the other, having said things which you didn't mean, having, ideas which you didn't mean. Then I realized a lot of artists, musicians, uh, a lot of people, anyway, they are great channels. So, what is channeling? Channeling is as good as zoning in to certain frequency, like how your radio or television set would zone into. So it's already broadcasted, it's live. You just have to tune in your antennae and you start listening to mm, conversation. Initially, it is monologue, and then you can have a dialogue. And it all feels that it's all in the mind. And probably it's all part of your imagination. Trust, there's a very thin line between imagination and the channeling. So initially, you can brush it off thinking, oh my God, it's all my imagination. It can't be true. And then you suddenly start seeing things happening and you see the evidences. And then you don't know, it's kind of a very confusing state. And many of you eventually block it because you don't know what to do with the information that keeps pouring in through these channels. You may feel even lost, and you may even feel overwhelmed with whatever messages you're getting. Sometimes you kind of just ignore it full on. And those messages will keep coming through various sources, through hoardings, through books, writing, friends, relatives. Somebody or the other will keep reminding you of something similar to that, giving you some hints that open up. If you are already exposed to Google and GPS, I'm sure you are because that's what right now you're referring to. So you would understand that it's not a big deal. There is a library of information up there in the space somewhere, and we can easily access. Of course, we only know how to access that in a reliable way through our computers. But Everyone has unique GPS, their personalized GPS systems, and you're entitled to that unique GPS. So, what do you need for that? You need to just shut down all other frequencies, calm down, be peaceful, get emotionally neutral. Because if you're emotionally charged, you cannot connect very well. Sort out the storage system in your subconscious mind and learn to remain quiet. And in these quiet moments, you will align to the right frequency. And when you align to the right frequency, you become absolutely peaceful, quiet, and very attentive. And when you understand how attentive and how you pick up all those signals, initially those signals are not going to be completely, coherent or completely understandable. So you'll get it in the bits and pieces. Sometimes right, sometimes wrong. You have to just take it with a pinch of salt. Channeling is like that, flow through a channel. If it's blocked for years, you'll get the contaminated flush initially. And as you keep doing it, slowly the clearer and clearer messages will start coming. It would be a good idea to keep doing that without worrying about whether it's right or wrong. Often I see many of my students, they complain, oh, early in the morning at 3:30 or 4 o'clock, or, there's a fixed time. My eyes suddenly wake up, I'm wide awake, very, very fresh, doesn't matter what time I sleep. And that's the time the channeling begins for a lot of you. It's a knock knock from the metaphysical world that, hello, I'm talking to you. Are you ready to listen? Because that's the time your filter mind is very, very clear. And the filter mind, when it is very clear, you open up to listen to the metaphysical world and the frequencies. All you have to do is just sleep with a notepad or a laptop or something where you can record or write. Best is to write, handwrite. So have a diary and a pen next to you. And when you wake up, start writing. Doesn't matter, however stupid, however idiotic it may sound. Even if you don't get any words, start doodling and doodle, because that your fingertips are connected with the subconscious mind. And doodling helps you clear your channels. And slowly and gradually, it will create some words, pictures, metaphors, and a regular practice will make you more and more intuitive. That would be amazing beginning. And there's much more to it. The ultimate message I want to give you is there is a world beyond the physical world. Behind every human being who are in body, there are lots of frequencies who are not in body to support you. Open up to take that guidance, take that support, and align to these frequencies. They mean good to you. Of course, there are often some risk of connecting to so-called unhealthy frequencies. It's as good as Googling and, jumping on the websites which are, virus infected. The risk is there, I wouldn't deny. However, what you get from the metaphysical world also represents your thoughts in the now. So it would be a good idea to heal yourself reasonably. Be very optimistic, positive, and address your unhealthy emotions, especially that of being vulnerable, misused, taken advantage of, taken for granted, attacked, abused. If you have those programs going on, the kind of metaphysical frequencies you will attract will match those programs and endorse your pre-existing beliefs. So address some of those unhealthy beliefs that invites unhealthy experiences. And those unhealthy experiences can come from your physical world or metaphysical world because it's your need for experience. Address your need for experiences, address beliefs and conditionings. Get clear because channeling will pass through the contamination of your beliefs, thoughts, and emotions as well. So if you clear up, the channeling gets purer and purer, and the experience can become blissful and spiritually more and more enlightening. So the process for you would be to learn to remain emotionally calm. Make sure that you have minimum belief systems. Third, make sure that your subconscious mind is very, very sorted. And then learn to connect to these frequencies. And when these frequencies connect with you and communicate, learn to infer, and finally, learn to implement. It's a process, and yet it can easily be handled step by step. And once you do that, the beauty is your life can be on automation, like being driven under a GPS guidance on a super express highway. How would you like that? We are here with a lot of assistance, make the best out of it. You don't need to struggle so much. You don't need to work hard so much. Be guided by amazing guidance that's just waiting for you. It may sound esoteric, it may sound impractical, but I have seen that it works amazingly well. And we've helped, we've guided a lot of people, and they're already using this so effectively. And the life is shifting and transforming. All the best. And now I open up to question answers, if any, and then we'll take it up.
Good morning, ma'am. Can I ask you one question?
Hi, Virender. Yeah, sure, sure.
Ma'am, this is such a beautiful thing you have told today because yesterday I had an experience and I was feeling like, how should I talk to you? And today morning, you you are there with the same
Yes.
thing. Yes, a few days back I had this pain in my ear. I usually have this pain in my left ear, keep on coming. And yesterday I was sitting in the car, and this was this song which was going. Just started that song. It was loud music. Cinderella Chandi Kudi, the song which keeps on going. And I had severe pain in my left ear with the words. Only these three, and then it got changed, and the pain also reduced. When the song was changed, the pain automatically went off. Then I came home, I opened Google, and there was this moon meditation thing which was coming. So I took that word that maybe that Chan and moon meditation, moon is means that thing might be there. I thought that I'll do. And in the afternoon, I was triggered so badly. I have never been so triggered. I mean, was it a healthy or unhealthy thing? I don't know. But then I wanted to ask you that how to interpret these frequencies. Like,
Yeah, so these frequencies communicate with you through audio channel, through visual channel, through nascent channel, gustatory channels, or simply body sensation or just knowingness, right?
yes,
Uh, Slowly develop audio channel.
yes,
So when you develop the audio connectivity, all this esoteric, vague sounding signals will start making sense. Or best would be to open Radical Manual and get the chakra guidance if you don't understand what it is.
okay, okay.
And you'll get a hint. Yeah.
So what is
That
the
would
signal
be,
meaning?
yeah. So
Okay,
let your pain reminds you that you open up to inner guidance. And the music contained the word chant, and probably you had to do moon meditation, which you postponed, which
yes,
eventually landed you up in some triggering, reminding you that now be peaceful because moon also is a symbol for peace.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it's a reminder to be at peace.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it?
That time when you're in a heat moment, that is very
Yeah.
difficult to come back.
Yes. So when you miss it out, so often you go into emotional turmoil, and the
Yes.
emotional turmoil disconnects you from those signals. So the first step first is learn to remain calm and peaceful.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Since morning 4 o'clock again, I got up and I've been listening to your meditations, those emotional detox and everything I've been doing since morning. But I'm much in a good space now.
awesome. Great. So it's just a reminder to be at peace. It doesn't matter what meditations, it was just a kind of reminder. So this is how the signals work initially. Later, as you develop audio channel, it gets easier because you get clear communication through words. Remember, these experiences are not there to save you from troubles or make you escape. They are there to put you back on your life plan. I'll talk about the uh, uh, difference between being psychic and spiritual in the next episode. Just remind me. Okay, so have a great weekend. I think it's Friday today, and weekend will be off. I'll meet you back on Monday. Enjoy, and the statements, radical statements related to opening up the channels. I would wait from you. You're my premium members, and all of you know how to design statements. Please don't send me on my personal chat, put it on the group, and I'll help you fine tune it throughout the day or during the weekend. I'll be relatively free and I'll have a look at the statements and help you correct if any. Otherwise, just add. It's a joy and a pleasure to see so many beautiful statements coming up from you. Okay, have a great weekend and bye bye.
Pardon me, ma'am. We can ask Shazia to put us in the group because
Uh, if you're a
we have.
premium member, you're already in that group, I guess.
No, ma'am.
You're not? Okay, I'll have a look. Hmm?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so
All
much,
right.
ma'am.
You, bye
Have a
bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good day.
Thank you, ma'am.